Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Movember 4th. As you can see, I'm still sporting the Mo. Yeah, I'm not shaving that anytime soon. Evelyn's been getting up every morning and stroking my beard and going, "Oh, your beard's so much bigger." Um, so we're going to continue on with our talking about some of the positive things that can um, help you adjust your mental health to a place that's a little more positive. Yeah, let's say positive. I hate to define it in terms of positive and negative because mental health is just a state. It's not something that you always choose. It's something you live within. Sometimes, for the longest time, actually, I had this um, outdated philosophy that if I just put on the airs of the emotion that I wanted to convey, then I would feel the effect of that emotion. And to some certain extent, that's true. You can choose to be happy. Um, but that choice is a superficial choice, and denying the things that are causing your depression will just deepen your depression. So some of the techniques we talked about yesterday were reaching out for help, finding someone to talk to. That can be somebody professional. Oh, let me just grab a little light here, make it a little bit easier to see. Um, that can be a mental health professional. That could be your family doctor. Excuse me. That can be a friend, a family member. It can be anybody you choose. I know for me, for a long time, I did have a good network of friends um, and I still do have a good network of friends that I can talk to when I need that emotional support. But I found that there were things that I didn't want to talk to them about, things that were um, personal to me that I felt uncomfortable talking about with some of my friends. Now, one of the reasons for these videos is to remove that stigma, to remove that idea that there are things that you can't talk about with people. Um, One of my best friends on the planet is somebody that I would not characterize as a sharing and open person with everyone. He's relatively guarded. Um, but he and I have recently developed the ability to talk about these mental health concerns because we're both facing similar concerns. Um, the downside of that being we both also have lives and families, and that we're not always able to coordinate the ability to get together and share and commiserate and enjoy the company of fellows. What I do have, as I said yesterday, is that um, regularly scheduled video conference with a therapist where I can articulate and formulate my thoughts and understand where my depression is and what the focus and the locus of that depression is in that moment. And sometimes we talk about the positives as well. In fact, we often talk about the positives. Life is not just depression or just happiness. We live upon a spectrum of content. What I want to talk about today is, for me, learning new things. I am a plethora of useless information, and I like to collect as much of it as I can. And that's a bit of a misnomer. It's not useless information. It's just not always easily applicable. Lately, one of the things that I've stumbled upon in my desire to learn new things is a course on YouTube produced by PBS out of the United States. It's called Crash Course, and it is specifically small snippets of information designed to be easily digestible and easily understood. The part I'm enjoying right now is Crash Course Philosophy, because although I have some peripheral knowledge of some of the philosophical concepts that we're talking about, um, these Crash Course videos serve as a reminder of a more deep knowledge of that, and they spur some of my knowledge. I go down YouTube rabbit holes all the time. I love to watch Ted Woodford for his guitar repair. I love to watch Adam Savage and his Tested series, as well as his live streams. I love to watch SciShow, and I think a big reason for that is that in the manifestation of my depression, I don't want to get too emotionally invested in anything. I started watching some shows on Disney Plus and Netflix, and I'll get partway through them, and then I get to a part that is uncomfortable for me. And I don't mean uncomfortable in that it's challenging my sensibilities about the world and what it is, but it's not something that's palatable in that moment. I have never done really well with conflict. I don't like watching people squirm. Um, and so I'll disengage. And what I like about these YouTube videos is it is the ultimate reality TV. You're watching somebody do something that is part of their life. Steve Wallace out of Edmonton does camping. There's um, an Australian fellow that I can't remember off the top of my head, and he does gardening in Australia. And they're just real people doing real things that I don't have to get emotionally invested in. I'm not trying to see a character develop. I'm watching a person do something they're passionate about. So I would encourage you to find an outlet where you can gather knowledge. I love reading, I love writing, I love playing music. Those are all good things for my mental health. But if I've gone through a day and I just am feeling drained at the end of it, to sit down in front of YouTube and watch 18 to 22 minutes of whatever, whether it's tasting history or some guy testing out the merits of Chinese pliers versus American-made pliers, or somebody doing a restoration on an old rusty hunk of junk. Those things appeal to me. I find new skills that I can apply to my everyday life, and I'm not necessarily becoming emotionally invested in a character. It's brain candy. I don't know how healthy that is to do it too often, but just something to distract your brain from overthinking your situation can be helpful, and that also leads to other things that we'll talk about tomorrow, other distractions that can help you get outside your head, and that's part of what I found in my journey towards improved mental health is I really need to get outside my head. I am an overthinker. I think about my brain is constantly running and constantly having a dialogue in my head. So finding a moment where I can quiet that and let that subconscious brain do what it's supposed to do while I'm not focused on it, I've found to be helpful to a more balanced understanding of myself. So that's it. I hope that provides you some benefit. I hope maybe you'll take some time to go to your local library or go onto YouTube or find whatever media you find distracting and get outside your head. Be happy and be balanced, be well, be healthy. Please donate to the campaign, and we'll see you again tomorrow.